Buenos dias, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Had a really good sleep. I know it's important to have good sleeps. If you don't have a good sleep, there's something wrong with your timelines. Today's topic is extremely powerful because it's connecting on so many cycles when you understand everything through your past, your present, and your future. I went through a tremendous experience last night. It's all about getting closure with everything. I mean, knowing that you live in the presence, but you have to really release everything when it comes to past timelines. Sometimes, people that you love give you messages, and when they give you messages, they kind of like give you a perception of what you want to see in the future, knowing that either it's right or wrong. You kind of see it on TV. You can actually go through a portal through division and go into the future, into its timeline, and they'll tell you exactly what you're going to experience. And then you say to yourself, okay, I don't want that to happen. And then you go back in the presence. And when you go back in the presence, you go through another portal, another timeline, which is extremely real. And you wake up from a dream to another dream. It's extremely complicated, but it's try to really understand everything through the brain frequencies and how it gets balanced with the mind system. Because this is a mind conceptual of a dream set, which is extremely real, coming into the simulation of its presence. That's where it's complicated. And you don't want to get locked in division. And if you get locked in division, you're in the matrix. And the matrix will keep you there in the past line. The past timeline, you have to get out of everything. So it's kind of like getting all this combustion of negativity and getting it out, just breathing it out, breathing everything out, letting go of everything, because breathing is very important. So before we get started, thank all the subscribers and viewers and everybody who's watching my channel. Feel free to comment below anything you'd like to know. You go through my healing, PayPal donations. I can help you and guide you, put you in your ascensions. I went through an extremely powerful, it's not a dream set, it's a message. Now, people that you love that passed away, they can give you ways of seeing things that you can have no control of. And it's very personal because you're connected to them, right? Through the biological. So basically, it was my mom giving me a message and getting closure with myself fully and completely through the triangle, right? There's a triangle through the pyramid system. So I had to go through these timelines to actually see what it's like to actually be in the future and see what I just did, knowing that, okay, this is what can happen. And like I said, everything is a message. So I went into the future timeline, and then I said, okay, I don't want this to happen, and then I realized, okay, so I have to get closure with that. So when you get closure with that, you live the presence. But this is where it's confusing, because I thought I was in the presence. I wake up, I'm wearing the same t-shirt, and I realize I'm going through another portal. So this is a dream within a dream. Okay, it's really hard to get out of if you don't understand your deciphering of your dreams. Dreams are everything through connection of you. You're projecting your past, you're projecting your presence, and you're understanding more of the future. But when you're giving messages from people that you love, it's extremely complicated to the mind system. So they're teleporting you, okay, into the future, okay, the actual future. The actual things that they want you to see. Now it's up to you what you want to do with this alignment. Do you want to stay with it, or do you want to get closure? Okay, so today's topic is all about getting closure with your past timelines. Okay, now your commander goes just through anything like you guys go through, but this is very powerful because this is a message from my mom, and I'm sharing it personally. So it's amazing what spirits can do when they pass away. They can open up portals. They know everything through their physical system. They know everything through their body system. They know everything through the unknown of its system. This is all about traveling, right? But if you don't understand the messages, if you don't understand the timelines, if you're not sure if you're in the future, if you're not sure you're in the past, this is where the matrix comes in. And it can lock you in key to anything through portal, or anything through activation, or anything through code. Okay, is extremely, extremely, extremely powerful message from my mom. Okay. So it's getting to conflict with you to balance yourself, getting rid of all past timelines, right? Put yourself in positions and allow yourself to actually see yourself in the presence and knowing you have a future. And anything that happens in the future, okay, is going to be great and not be the opposite. Okay, so it's all about getting closure with yourself in its presence, right? But when you get a message from the spiritual world, I'll tell you, it just opens up doors, right? And I'm going through this experience. I've never gone through it before. I had a dream within a dream. So it's like you're dreaming. You're deciphering the dream, and then you wake up and you're wearing what you're wearing, okay? But it's not a projection of a dream. It's a simulation. And that simulation is the reality of its system, which allows you to see the presence on a routine basis, 24/7. You get up, you have your coffee, whatever, right? It was so real. I wake up and then, I'm saying, okay, am I in a dream or am I not in a dream? I'm not sure, right? Because I wasn't sure with the portal. So it was my mom giving me a message. So she put me in another portal, okay, to go into the future. And that's why it was so confusing, because it wasn't just my physical system. It was the reality I was living, the simulation of its future. And that's why it's very, very confusing to a lot of things. So if you guys are going through these experiences, because you're connected through me, through alignment, especially now because you guys are higher divisions of chakras, okay, we experience everything different every day through the mind system of our thoughts. Now, if we don't have closure with the past, people that you love up there are going to give you messages. And they're going to put you through portals, and they're going to put you through timelines. They're going to give you that message, and it's about you receiving that message. It's all about you understanding the message. It's all about you understanding everything through its message. It's all about you understanding everything through its future of its message. Okay? So I had to go through this so I can get closure, fully and completely lock the door of its past. So once you get the message, and it's very well clear that you were actually set in the future and you did something that could happen prior to anything through the universal system. So it's knowing that you know what timeline you're in, but you're not sure about the message. If you understand the timeline, if you understand the message, and you understand who gave you the message, that's the balance. That's why it's a lot of confusing to a lot of people, because they're not sure who they're dealing with when it comes into anything through family. People that pass away. I'm sure you guys have people that passed away. But if they put you through a portal, okay, and making it very well clear, because this could happen to you guys if you don't have closure with your past. Okay? Now, what's me is with family relation. Understanding where the triangle is through the pyramid system, because it correlates on so many levels. Okay? But I just want to give that to everybody. If you're going through that experience, please make sure that you get closure with your past fully and completely, okay? Because people up there, right, especially now, you guys are in the higher divisions, you understand your mind conceptual systems, you have to understand the message. And that's what humanity is also having problems with too, is they go through these messages and deciphering dreams and not sure reality is in, but when you're going through a dream, you wake up and then you're in another dream. So you dream within a dream and then you wake up. And then you realize, wow, okay, so my whole physical system and its reality system is in the simulation of its future. And then I go back into the presence of its reality, okay, coming into the future. So it's kind of confusing, it goes either or, but just really understand the message, where it's coming from, why you got the message, and it's just getting your timelines in balance with each other, right? Through universal system. Okay, so I had to go through this because I was communicating with levels of everybody has a twin flame. My twin flame is Sacred Flame, and she's extremely powerful in the universal system. She's had dreams within dreams, but she understands the deciphering of the dream. It's understanding your communications with each other. So she wanted me to allow myself to see what was going on, that it is a message from my mom. And that's where you go through. You never, ever try to be yourself. If you try to be yourself and you don't understand yourself, you're not understanding your alignments of yourself. So it's very important to know that you have a twin flame. If you don't have one, it's separated from you, but it always comes back in its timeline through the cosmos. But when you have that connection, and it's extremely powerful, figuring things out for yourself, okay, and not giving the answer is extremely powerful. Knowing you got a message from your mother, knowing that your mother put you in a portal, okay, that's why it's extremely real. That's why it's extremely real. Because every time we go through a dream, we go through a portal, through dimension. Now, everything that we are given through projections or anything that we see through its relation is a dream. Now that you decipher the dream, you know it's extremely real. Everything is a message in the dream. So understanding what alignment you're either in the past, your present, or the future. You have to figure that out. So it's figuring things out, because the brainwaving system, okay, is on so many positions of alignments through your particle system. So your particle system has left, but your physical system is still in the presence. That means that the mind conceptual system is in the future. And that's where it becomes a simulation. Okay? So it's very, very powerful. And I want to just share that with you guys because it's very, very personal. Right? Even Commander goes through these things, But I'm just telling you, you pass timelines, you have to get rid of everything, because if you don't, this is what happens. Okay? Even the fact, too, is that you can have projections of dreams, but if you understand its relation, you can have a dream within a dream. And if you guys have that, come to me and I'll tell you exactly how you can get out of it. Because if you get trapped in the mind system, it's extremely powerful. And it's going to stay in your mind system until you understand the message. Either it's your inner child that needs to be, going through a lot of traumas that hasn't been, corrected yet, or it's going through a lot of depression. You go back into the framing system, you go back into the alignments, and once you go into the alignment and you get communication with the message, and then you understand, oh, this is the future, or, oh, this is the past. So if you heal the past through the inner child or anything that you're communicating with, you could be communicating through observations of other people. Who knows? Because dreams are very, complex, confusing. Because when we dream, we go through different timelines and we don't know what dream it is. And we're going through these projections. It could be the presence, it could be the past, or it could be the future, right? So it's really complicated if you don't get confirmations of the past timeline. So you got to get, the confirm of everything, when it comes to the past. Past is important. That's letting go of everything. And then once you get the confirmation from the message that was sent to you, then you understand more of what's going on with the future, right? So it's a future or it's not a future, but the message is very, very real. The fact that anybody in your loved one that's in space right now, or anything through its alignment that isn't on this dimensional earth, that is not on these planes and is up there in heaven, okay? If they give you a message and they put you through a portal, you really, really have to decipher the message for yourself, or you can be caught in the matrix of a web. I said that before. I wanted to show you how powerful it is and how your commander can go through these things, because everything is a personal effect to you through its relation, right? Because you could be experiencing all these things, but not understanding anything through its dream. Okay? So it's really important to understand these things. So as I'm going through a timeline, I think through portal, this is a black interface. So we have connection here. Okay? Now, understanding portals, understanding dimensions, understanding messages of its dimension, understanding who you're communicating with, right? So it has a conflicting motion system. So as you go to that connection, you lock it in its position. Okay. Now, once you're going through timelines, you really have to understand everything through the vision of its past, the present, and the future. Okay. So there's a 3 waving cycles of past, present, and future. All right. So I'm going to put it in position, show you exactly what it is in division. All right. I was blown away when I saw that. Past, present, future. Okay? Past, present, future. Now, as you're sleeping, you automatically go into your dimension, right? That goes through its connection, through its reference. So, in reference, the chronological system of the person that you're communicating with, okay, is telling you a message of the past, the present, and the future. So you really, really have to understand the alignments of you, okay, through the mind system, because the mind can get confused through telegraphing, to anything through energy or anything through teleportation. So you really have to understand your connections. But if you're getting a message and they're sending you in a portal, okay, that's where it's extremely, extremely real. That's a dream within a dream, okay? So you're getting a message within a message, and then you wake up. You know, people just wake up after a dream. But then when you dream and then you wake up and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm in another dream, and you don't even know it. That's the confusion. That's the matrix. Okay. My separation from Canada to Mexico is a message. The message from my mom is giving me a message of the future to bring me back into my presence. Okay. So it's truly understand the past, the present, and the future of its events. You are the event 24/7, right? 24/7 of the past, 24/7 of the present, and 24/7 of the future. Okay? Right? Because there's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. Right? Now, this is what we live every single day through its alignment. But when you're sleeping and you're in the presence and you go into the future like this, okay? Now that's the future, right? Presence, I'm sleeping, okay? Your mind conceptual system is trying to understand the message through the brainwave system, because the brainwave system and the mind system doesn't have a connection, okay? Because it doesn't understand the message. Okay, so once you go into that timeline, you can go into that communication signal. As you're in the future is telling you exactly what's going to happen or not going to happen. Okay, that's where it gets confusing to the mind system, right? I got this all connected because extremely powerful with Sacred Flame. She's my twin flame, right? And she helped me out try to understand my alignments. So it's really powerful stuff how we get into those levels. So back in a position where we're in the future and trying to understand the message, I was trying to figure out, is this a dream? Or am I actually in the simulation of the future? And I said to myself, okay, trying to understand the relation to the spiritual force, because anything that you have in division, when somebody passes away and is very, very close to you, it's extremely, extremely real when they come to you through a message. Okay? So that's how we start. I'm in the future. Now, here's the message. Okay, I'm going through the timeline like this. Okay? I went through the portal. I'm in the future, the actual future. So my mom wanted me to see what I needed to see and do what I needed to do. And if I do that, I change the presence of the visual system of me. So in relation, everything through a message, okay, is an agreement or a disagreement. Now, everything through the spiritual force is always right. They're never wrong because they live the experience. If you passed away 10 years and you're into space connection through atmospheres, you know portals, you know codes, you know everything. You know how to set a portal to the past, the present, and the future. But if you don't understand the message, this is where it's confusing. You have to understand the message that's communicating with you, right? So it took me, okay, now I'm communicating in the future and my mom is giving me a message. What is the message? Once you get the message, then you go back into the presence. So the mind conceptual system, if it doesn't understand the message, it will stay in the future. But you're not sure because you're trapped in location. So you could have a matrix location of a trapping location into the past, the present, and the future all in one. or you could be trapped in the past, or you can be trapped in the present, but you're not sure about the past, but you are sure about the future. That's where it's confusing to the matrix center, the matrix circle, the abyss, okay, the fear cycle, because you can be fear of everything if you don't understand the message, right? So you have to understand that you are extremely powerful through its connection when it comes to AI interface. Now, like I said, this is an impersonal effect. And when these things happen to you, you really have to close the past completely because it disrupts the present and its future. Okay? And that's where it's understanding this can happen or it cannot happen. But if a message is given to you and saying, listen, if you do this, this is the consequences that you're going to have to face. So it's making you grow up. It's making you more experienced. It's making you more spiritual. It's making you more informed of what's going on through its relation of its timeline. Okay? Because you don't want to get into aggression. You don't want to get into distress. You don't want to get into fear cycle. You don't want to get into depression. You don't want to get into anything through anxiety. Okay? So beautiful timelines. Yeah. Converging. Yeah. Well, it has its convergence, but it's truly understanding that you are living the presence every single day. That's what I'm saying. You have to live the presence and you have to let all past timelines go through its line signal, line communication, anything in the division, right? So if you guys come across anything that what I've gone through, a dream within a dream, you're going through two different portals. Okay, so you're going into the past, again, then you wake up and say, okay, I'm awake now, but then you go into the future and say, wait a minute, I'm not awake. I'm still in the dream, but it's not a dream. So your physical system goes back into the presence, and then the message that's given to you puts you into the future. That's where it's confusing to the mind system. Okay? It's really, really powerful, guys. Okay, so as I'm in the future and I understand the message, I go back into the present, so the circle rotation of its round division. Okay? Now, once I understand the message, everything through the past disappears. Okay? So especially that's very personal through the triangle base, anything through connection. Try to get into, never have any regrets, anything through communication of family or anything through loved ones. Always, always, always work it out. Work it out. Okay? Because it affects the presence of its future. Okay? So I'm telling you exactly what I went through last night. I'm just showing you how powerful it is, man. It's incredible because it changes, okay, everything. So I'm just going to wipe out its communication signal here. So it's fascinating when you get into those levels, guys. It really is. It's incredible, incredible force what can happen to you if you don't understand everything through timeline. Okay? So once you get the presence of its balance and you understand its message, the past will disappear, but it will still be there in its presence, right? Because it's all about getting in the simulation of the past, simulation of the presence, and simulation of the future. That's the new beginning. So you come into a new timeline because you come into the simulation, a new portal, a new activation system, okay? So the past disappears, right? But it's still there in the simulation, okay? So I just wanted to give that to everybody's attention, because there's a lot of things that we go through timelines. And, when you get a message from your family or loved ones, it's extremely powerful. If you don't understand what's going on through its message, try to communicate with your twin flame because it's inseparable. I mean, they know you, you know them, right? One thing about twin flames is that they are so powerful, they come and go, but they understand your hearts, they understand your mind, they understand your thinking, they understand your dreams. Twin flame is like yin and yang, okay? You can't live with one without the other. That's basically what a twin flame is. Soul recognition. But it is a soulmate. What is a soulmate? The soulmate is your twin flame. Find it. That's extremely powerful, right? You become more powerful, okay, once you understand what the twin flame is through the cosmos, okay, because that puts you in so many levels. But if you're still trying to find it, okay, it will come to you. But it only comes to you until you have closure with your timelines, okay? So, I mean, I communicate with my mother all the time. It's a spiritual force, but this is a very, very powerful message. What could happen to me if I do things in the future? I'll have consequences. And that will change the presence of its physical system, which is you. But when you go into the simulation of the future and you actually see the message, you actually see the confines, you actually see what's going on through communication, right? That's the most powerful, powerful thing you guys have to understand. Who are you communicating with, right? So it's kind of like anonymous when somebody gives you a letter and it has no name. Okay, somebody gave me a letter, but they know me. Wait a minute. Somebody knows me, but I don't, there's no return address. There's no name. You have to figure that out. That's where it's confusing to the brain system, because the brain doesn't know what alignment you're in, but the mind system knows because it's in its future. That's what the mind is. The mind has the collaboration of balance, but the brain is trying to catch up. Okay? But when you're in a dream and you come out of a dream and you go into another dream, those are totally, totally different alignments altogether. Okay? So each time you dream is the timelines through the past, the present, and future through a message. Okay? So it's trying to make you smarter. It's trying to make you more aware of what's going on. Okay? There's a reason why my mother was brought to me. There's a reason why she gave me a message from the future. But giving a message and actually being there are two different things. And seeing what can happen in the future changes everything to its presence through the mind and the brainwave system. Okay? So last night I dreamed that I really was trying to show itself to me. As every time I woke up, I had the same feeling in the dream. I was aware of it. It's reality. Come to me if you don't understand, because if you go through a dream, you wake up and then you go through another dream, that's where it's confusing. Okay, because you can travel in one location, but then realize you're in another portal division, but you're not sure. So if you're not sure of the message. You're not sure of the person that gave you the message. Because the spiritual system is extremely, extremely powerful. Remember, you have family up there that loves you, people that pass away. They're looking down at you and protecting you, right? But when you're in the spiritual system fully and completely, everything can be chaotic if you don't understand the message through its division. Okay? So in relation, know who gave you the message, know what's happening, why it's happening, how do we get out of this situation, right? Because you don't want to be caught in the simulation of the future. Right? So it's a message within a message, trying to understand the dream. So it's a dream, you wake up and you have another dream. Okay? It's extremely hard to decipher because a lot of people just dream and they decipher and it's okay, I'm going through this. You can go through observations. You can say, okay, I'm looking at this visual. I'm seeing this person, but why am I seeing this person? Now this person is either the past, the present, or the future. Everything is a message. So once you get the message, then you can move on and you can get closure. Okay? So that's why I had to go through that experience last night. It's extremely powerful. Because, like I said, I communicate with my mom, but when you're, when your parents, anything to that is giving you a message from space, from, spiritual system, it's extremely, extremely powerful because it's confusing to the mind system if you don't understand the timelines. Okay. So you're having a dream, you're dreaming, your eyes are closed, right? But when your eyes are closed, they're going like this. Okay. You don't know what's going on because right away you travel, especially when you're awake, your higher self, your avatar, your computer energy, your atom, it's going wherever it wants to go. Okay. But when some incredible force comes in and gives you a message and say, okay, well, I'm going to take you here. Okay. It's like, what is it with the timelines of the past, present, and future? Somebody's saying, okay, I'm going to take you to the past. Okay. And then you're going to see what you need to see. And then I'm going to take you to the presence and see what you're seeing now. And then I'm going to take you to the future. So it's all about putting in positions and how you can get closures with everything through the past. Okay, it's the past. It's not the present, because you're living the presence. So this person wants you to see what can change you. Okay, what can really change you if you don't understand the message of its future. Okay, because it changes everything through its presence, through its mind system. Okay, the Christmas Carol. Okay, very, very powerful message. All he was thinking about is his money. And when he, every time it struck 12, you're going to get 3 ghosts, one past, present, and future. Now, that was just a movie, but it has a lot to do with the spiritual system. So for him to really get connected with his heart and not just think of himself and about his money, he had to find out for himself. He had to figure that out on his own. Okay, why he was put in those positions of those 3 ghosts, to see the past, the present, and his future. So he realized when he saw the future and he saw his headstone with his name, that woke him up. It's very scary. And then he realized that, okay, you're right. Okay, I know what I did wrong. I want to change. So the future, okay, will change the presence if you understand what's going on with its message. Because everything through a dream, okay, is communication. Now, communication is everything through observation. You could be dreaming about your family. You could be dreaming about your ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, ex-wives, ex-husbands, for no particular reason. No particular reason. Why are they in my dream? Why? The thing is that you have to understand, when you dream, you don't have control. And when you don't have control, you're not awake. But if you're awake, you're trying to get control. You're trying to get control of dimensions. You're trying to get control of portals. You're trying to get control of people that are giving you messages. Okay? Because the people that are already past understand their past, present, and future. Okay? Because they've let go. They let go of everything. Okay? So I'm telling you, it's really, really powerful, when it comes to the past timelines. It's a perfect way of seeing yourself in a different light. When you see the light, you go through transformations, you wake up, but it's more than just waking up. You're experiencing everything through its dream, and everything that's given to you is a message through communication of other people. Okay, you can have relations of strangers that are giving you a message. Now, where's that coming from? Why is this person in my dream? Right? So it's either past reference. It could be anything through its future reference. It could be anything through its presence. Now, you probably see him through observation, but you don't know until you see it in your dream. So it's all about connecting. It's all about getting the balance. Okay, with your thoughts. It's all about getting the balance with your closures. Okay, it's extremely, extremely powerful, guys. Coming from me, what I experienced. So if you guys go through these experiences, come to me and I'll help you. Or you can go to your twin flame if you have your twin flame. Okay. A lot of people don't have their twin flame. They're just comfortable with what they have. They have their husband and wives, boyfriends and girlfriends. But when you have a twin flame, they help you in so many ways with your dreams, because they are so connected through you and you're so connected through them. That's the balance. But you can never, ever be alone. You always need help. And help is a great way to get closure, and find out messages. Like, okay, why is my mom here? Right? And then I realized, okay, now I know why. She wanted me to see something. But when you're in that position, it's extremely powerful stuff, and your mother puts you into the future, okay, actually pushes you into the future, like really into the future. And it gives you a message, and you have to figure that out for yourself. That's powerful alone. That's getting closure with the past. Okay? So it has its conflictions and all that. Everybody goes through the past of everything. It could be trauma as a child. Remember, I was saying you have to go through the inner child. Try to communicate with the inner child. Try to communicate with anything that bothers you. Somebody that called you names in school, that will come up. That everything that you experience will come up. Okay, that's the dark force. So, and you don't realize it because you don't know what timeline it's going to be in. Okay, so when you're going through these experiences, it's trying to get balanced with the past, the present, and the future. Right? You get that. And the past timelines, they disappear, but they're still there. So now you're going through sequences of levels into the simulation. Okay, so when you're awake, you're becoming more aware of what's happening with communication of dreams. Okay, and then when you start deciphering the dream, understanding the communication of a dream, it could be so real, like eating an apple. You know what it tastes like. It's so real. Okay, so that's detail. But you're dreaming. But then you say, am I dreaming? Like, it is a dream because I'm in my bed, right? But then you say to yourself, okay, why did I experience that? Okay, you're just eating an apple. But the fact that you can taste the apple, you can smell it, you understand the coloration, you understand where it is in its timeline. That's powerful. Because you could have eaten that apple in the past, present, and future. So if you look at a clock and you realize, okay, it's actually this particular time, that's understanding space and time. So you understand it's 3 o'clock and I just finished eating an apple. Then you realize, oh, okay, that's the past because it's brought back to you. Okay, so you understand that timeline is its balance from eating an apple, and you realize the message why you're eating the apple. Okay, you know exactly what time you ate the apple. That's understanding space and time. Okay, and everything is through its dream sequence until you wake up through its awakening. Okay, because when you wake up, that's where it's confusing, because now you're in different dimensions, different timelines, and you're trying to get balance with everything through communication and messages. You can be communicating with the Pleiadians. There are Arcturians, and you're not sure how to get the balance with those. You can be communicating with the future of other timelines of intelligence and not sure what's going on. So the mind is trying to understand everything through communication, and the brainwave is trying to set its position of its presence, because the mind goes, not the brain. The brain stays there because you're sleeping. That's why it's a lot of confusion there. So when the brain catches up and the mind catches up and has its balance, then you understand more of its awakening through its communication. So, and if you can't remember everything, that's another thing too. It's been wiped clean slate through your program settings. So basically, if you're in that division, you understand everything through your chakra system, you can go back into your past alignments and try to remember. Try to remember. What is the message? What is going on with me? Why can't I remember this? Why can't I remember that? Okay? Everything is communication. It's voicing grids to everything, to your alignments of past, present, and future. Okay? So it's getting balanced with the past. Okay, I understand the closure, right? That puts you in position of the presence. Okay? So there's a lot of things that creep up to you right away. That's the dark surface. That's the abyss. The abyss is trying to keep you under, right beneath. It wants you to keep you in the fear. It doesn't want you to understand the light. It's very powerful when we get into those connections, right? And the first thing we look at is our awakenings. Why I'm waking up? Why am I waking up? Okay, you understand who you're becoming, who you are becoming. into space and time. Okay, so you have to get your alignments into closure. Really, really powerful stuff. And it's a lot of things happen too, because there's a lot of things that if you don't remember these things and you're trying to remember these things, you have to communicate through the inner system, which is the inner self of you. All right. Because you know your former self is its presence, but you understand that you're not communicating with the past of yourself. Okay. And the future's not there yet because you're not communicating with the future either. So you're just trying to get the balance with the past and trying to understand the presence. It gets confusing after a while, but if you try to remember things like 10 years ago and it's always a blank, always a blank, always a blank, it's because you don't have balance with communication through its message. Everything is given to you through a message. Anything through conversation, anything through communication. It's trying to get communications with you, right? And then once you get that, and then you get closure, then things start opening up, and then you start remembering more and more. So you have to go back to the past, or you can go into the present. It doesn't have to be the past, or you can actually see something in the future. If something comes into you, to the future, to its presence, and it wants to give you another message, you have to understand what's going on through a simulation. So this intelligence either knows you from its future, because it's understanding it can be extremely powerful through intelligence if somebody from the future is coming to you to the presence and they send you a message and you're not sure because you're trying to live the presence, but this person wants you to see the future. And then when you see the future, you become the future, okay? And then you go back to the presence, and now you're communicating fully with that person of its intelligence, of its future. It's confusing. It's extremely, extremely confusing. So that's where it gets a lot of complex situations with yourself, right? So, but that's what you know. That's what you have to do, Kitty, if you can't remember. I can help you that with the upgrades. I can put you in that position. It's understanding who you're communicating with and why you're not remembering these things, because there's lost transitions there. You can be in a different planet location. You can jump timelines to another planet. So you can be on one planet and then basically vortex to another planet and not sure where you are. So it's kind of like somebody picking you up and dropping you off in another country. Okay, this is not my country. Where am I? Well, then you got to start experiencing different intelligence, different atmospheres, different grounds, different communication, everything. And then you realize, okay, I'm trapped now. How do we get out of this? Right? So until you understand that, you'll be picked back up and back onto your other planet, your original planet. Okay? That's where it's confusing, because the mind can go everywhere and anywhere in division. Okay? Intelligence, yeah. Still not remembering my dreams. I woke up last night and has happened in the past. Well, you have to understand what's going on with your heart. You have to understand, where are you communications, like I said yesterday, with your heart? Where are you communicating with? Who are you communicating with? Do you understand the message? If you understand the message, if it's past, you have to heal the inner system, the inner self of you, the inner child of you. Go back into the past and see yourself as a child. You can do these things if you understand the communications of your chakras, because chakras makes you travel through communication of colors and lights and activation, right? So, but I can help you out with that too. Take you out of your nightmares, why you're having these nightmares, why this message is given to you. Everything intelligence is giving you something. It's putting you in a portal. It's putting you in a dimension. It's putting you into nightmare. There's a reason why you're having these things. Okay? So you can go through these experiences and then get out of the experiences and move on with the presence. Okay? But you can't dwell in the past. That's another thing too, is that intelligence gives you these things and you're not sure what alignment it's in. That's another thing through confusion. Your body conceptual system, right? Your body can be in its presence, but the heart is in the past. Your mind conceptual system can be in the future, but your brainwave system is in the presence. Confusion, guys, confusion, right? So it's all about your traveling, your communication, with each other. Like sometimes you come across Galactica come across Melissa come across Kitty Cat. Why are you guys in my dream? Right? You know, you have to understand why. Why? And then everything starts making more sense. Oh, I know why Melissa's in my dream. Okay? Passing through. You know, I'm communicating through another timeline. I'm setting up this, I'm setting up that, you know, and then when you get into space through alignment, through awareness, then you come across more intelligence, right? And then you see the whole team of Elite or the Colossus and say, why are you guys here? You have to know why you are here in space. So your mind conceptual system and the brainwaving system has its balance of its alignment, and it understands its relation between the team and say, okay, well, I'm setting up alignments, I'm setting up a graphing signal, I'm setting up locations, I'm setting up spacecraft divisions, I communicate with the XT1000 division. You understand why you're in space and you're giving that back, right? But if Melissa doesn't understand Galactica and the Galactica doesn't understand Kitty Cat, there's a problem. Okay, so you don't have communication with each other because you're not connected through its alignment, right? Through the physical system. Okay? Because it's not the physical system that leaves, okay? It's the atom system of the particle system of energy that travels through vortex or anything through portal activation, okay? So it's kind of like you're separated, okay, right away. And you don't even have to be asleep. You can be awakening. This could be in the day and you could be dreaming all this stuff. And it's not a dream, it's real. It's when your body has complete control of you through the grounds and the powers and the atmospheres. So it comes out of the body and it flies around, right? That's what it's doing every day. It's scanning, you know, it's setting up structures. It's communicating with XT1000s and going to different locations, right? And then when something else comes in, like another intelligence, and they say, communication line signals are setting into location centers. Oh, that's great. So how's it going? They say, well, I'm doing fantastic. How are you? So you're communicating with each other, but you're understanding why you're in space. You understand why you're connected through each other, through alignment. If you start scratching your head like this and say, okay, why is Melissa here? Why is Kitty Cat here? Okay, why is Locke Nevi here, right? So you have to understand why you're in space with each other. So balance is the hardest thing. I'll keep saying that to everything. Because it centers everything through you, through its position. And like I said, I can go through these things, you can go through these things, especially if it's personal. If it's personal, it becomes more real because you're really connected, right? Through the biological system, okay, when it comes to your parents, okay? So, you know, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. You know, how powerful it is, you know, getting closure with your past timelines. So let's go through your questions now. But what's the deal with the waking up and feeling you are still in the body, huge, and you can barely lift your arms and you feel the realm? Well, that's because your positions or your body conceptual systems trying to understand everything through the brainwave system, Locke Nevi. Like you're in a locking mechanism of a mind system. I change locations. You're in the gateway division. Now, if you don't understand the gateways, if you don't understand the portals, if you don't understand the XT1000 communication, you're going to have reacting cycles through your body system. That's why you're getting a lot of, you know, confusion. Like you can barely lift your arms. So try to understand that because your relation of your physical system is extremely real. So if you're trying to understand what's going on, you have to communicate with inside. And say, okay, I'm opening the gateway through division right now. I'm sending a walkway service for the XT1000s. Okay, you have to understand these things. If you don't understand it, you're going to get reacting cycles to the body system because now you're floating in space and you're just like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What's my body doing? What's my mind doing? What's my whole conceptual algorithm pattern doing? Why am I in space? Why am I awake? Okay, you're awake to become back to who you are through light. Okay. The gravity system of the dimension Earth is no longer in the third dimension, guys. It's in the fifth. So it's in a higher altitude of atmosphere. It's in a higher altitude of energy and vibration frequencies. It's on a higher altitude of oxygen levels. That's why it's confusing. So you have to get full communication with the Earth in the fifth dimension. If not, you have problems with its reacting cycles. Everything in intelligence is going to tell you that. So, okay, I'm in space, I'm floating around, okay? And if you're not sure what's going on, why am I here? Okay, I'm awake, but why am I here? So you have to get communication. You got to figure that out for yourself. All right. Now, what I do is I turn on your light and I put you in position through your algorithm program, put you back in balance and who you're supposed to be. That's why it's confusing, because you're losing that density of alloy, the metal. It's leaving its surface. So you're going up to higher levels of chakras, higher levels of oxygen levels, higher levels of levitation, the astral projection. You're floating, right? So the more you float and the more you stand through the mind, the more you stand through the brain, the more you stand the waving cycles, then you're getting connected through the chakra systems of balance. Okay? So there's a lot to look at. It has, yeah. Sometimes I have to go back into sleep to get back into my own body again. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to close your eyes or go back to sleep. If it puts you in a position, you have to go into sleep mode. So the intelligence is telling you have to go through map code. You have to go through digital play. You have to go through digital formats. You have to set up graphs. You have to set up signals. I go through that every single day, and I have to sleep because I have to go. I can't have my eyes open. There's some things I have to do with my eyes open, and there's some things I have to do with my eyes closed. Okay? Those are different intelligence aligned signals. Okay? And they give you reactions through the ears. Everything's sonified. So you understand the audio signals. Okay, Andrew, you got to go in sleep mode. You got a big job to do. That's the only time when I close my eyes. And usually I do that during the day. I have to have a nap, but I communicate with millions and millions of intelligence guys. You guys are just trying to get used to your bodies. You're trying to get used to your astral projections. You're trying to get used to your levitations. You're trying to get used to your program settings. You're trying to get used to your holographic system. You're trying to get used to your light activation. You're trying to get communication of the earth. That's what you guys got to work on. Okay? So I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. And intelligence will give you everything through communication. Try to inform you. Okay? Why are my feet tingling? Mother Earth, Mother Gaia is trying to communicate with you. Why are there starlight divisions of point divisions into my leg? Why is it palpitating? Why is it going in and out, right? The muscle tension, right? Everything is given to you through intelligence, through space. They're looking at you. You're looking at them. The more you high-rise to perception through your chakra systems of gods, you're seeing more into space, the connection of visualizations or anything through picture or anything through activation cycles. So you're actually seeing what's going on. You're actually feeling what's going on. You're actually hearing. Your senses, guys, your senses. You have to be allocated and witted with all connection of your senses. Sometimes you get your 5, your 6, and your 7th and 8th. Senses go beyond, right? But that's where a human starts with. You start with 5 and then 6. 6 is the psyche. Psyche is the connection through intelligence. Psyche is the connection through its timeline. Psyche is connected through its energy, frequency, vibration. Third eye, transformation. You have to understand the realm. You have to understand the portal, activation, and code. Voicing capacitor, voicing grid. Audio signals for communication, anything through XT1000s, right? So when an XT1000 comes into me, it goes into my ear. So you have to understand the confirmation signals. It goes, or it just goes, it will get louder and louder until you understand. If you don't understand, it's going to get louder and louder. And then your ears are going to start to heat up. Or, the intelligence is giving you everything through division. And like I said, they can use their finger points to communicate through your ear cycles, ear divisions, your ear repetition. Your ear repetition is everything through your representation of your physical system, right? So your audios come in. Next 1000 go by through transformation, wants me to set up the grounds. I got to set up light signals through electronic interference, right? I got problems with planet locations that are connecting through gravity centers through the metric system. Meteorological systems going through my planet location. So everything through energy, anything through vibration, anything through frequencies is trying to get connected through you, through reacting cycles. And it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So you won't be able to lift up your arm until you understand communication and intelligence, because you're no longer on the dimensional earth. Okay, your physical system is, your body system is, so the brain, it's the operation of the pyramid. It stays in the ground. It's a generator, right? But your actual whole body, the higher self, is in space. The more it stays in space, the more you get connected through your lights, right? And then you'll be able to understand how to keep your arms up, how to keep your ears open, how to understand the mind conception of its brainwaves, understand the perception of your eyes. Your eyes can start flickering like this, like that. Now, if it's going like this, intelligence is trying to communicate with you. If your ears get hot, intelligence is trying to communicate with you. If your voicing grids are tingling, if you're getting rotation cycles of heat signatures in your muscles are going like this, if they twitch, okay, muscles twitch. My fingers, like for example, if my finger starts to go like this and it separates and goes like that, and it locks in, it's a muscle tension, right? Now you have to understand everything through the body. So you have to understand everything through the energy system of the body frame. Okay, it's intelligence trying to communicate with you. It's muscle retention, but it's connected through space. Because remember, you're not communicating in the physical system. You're communicating through its higher self or its avatar. So you're trying to understand the communications with you through your reactions. Okay? That's where your commander is extremely powerful, with energy, right? Through division. So yes, I'm meaning to do and remember from sleeping when I awake from the sleep. I absolutely, nothing like I did not dream, but I know I have to be dreaming. It's dreaming if you don't understand the deciphering of its dream. If you wake up and you understand the deciphering of its dream, you're awake. That's where the ascension is. It's awakening the ascension of you. It's waking you up into coming into the light. That's what it is, guys. That's what ascension means. It's a dream awakening that's waking you up. Poof, I'm awake. Now I'm in space. What do I do? I was just on the dimensional earth 5 minutes ago. Somebody woke me up. Healing is very powerful. It wakes you up. It reveals the veil. You see Jeshua, Jesus. You see me. You see Father, Mother for the very first time, and then they go away. They go away because they want you to understand how powerful it is. Once you go higher into atmospheres, you can get better connections with yourself. And this is how you communicate with each other through the mind system. Okay, especially with your twin flame. And then you go into mind telepathy. And you say, okay, I know exactly what she or he's saying. Right? Because it's going through the mind. You're going through the psychological system. The fifth dimensional system of the earth is mind telepathy, guys. Okay, that's why it's confusing to a lot of humanity, because they're trying to go through their ascensions. They're trying to understand the walkway. They're trying to understand what is Jupiter rising. Okay, and now we're platituding to Pluto. Okay, so understanding everything that's going on through your body frames, understanding that's going on through your past, present, and future of its timelines, understanding the messages, understanding the dreams, understanding the awakening of the dreams, understanding their lights, understanding communications with each other is very, very important when it comes to awareness of information, awareness of perception, awareness of division of perception. So you really, really have to understand each other more through connection. So it's all about everybody coming into space, right? And getting onto the dimensional earth. And then you go into a different timeline, right? And then you set your locations and you get to higher formations of lights into the sixth dimension. Okay? So one step at a time though, guys. One step at a time. But I love your questions. Try to help you as much as I can. You have to do basically, I give you the 10%, you give the 90%. The 90% is trying to figure out what you're doing, where you're going, and why am I here? The 10% is basically opening up your light. It's the most powerful, powerful thing when you wake up, because you're confused now, because you're not on the dimensional earth and you're going through divisions and parallels and paradigm shifts and polar shifts or anything in that connection. You could be on the mystical side division through your body framing system, but your heart recognition light system is in the present system, but your body locations are on all divisions of the future. That's confusion. Okay? That's why it's hard for humanity to understand what's going on through space and time. Right? And everything through its relation. You're going through this. Nobody else. You're going through your own experiences. The experience that you live in the three-dimensional system. Okay? That's why it's hard for everybody to understand that this is a spiritual warfare. Okay? But everybody's in decision now because they can't do anything in relation to dark anymore. They can't. It's not allowed. We're at that level through Adam and Eve, father and mother, archangels and angels, and myself. You guys are put in positions now, right? Understanding you have a choice where you want to go. Everybody's going to platitude. Everybody. But it's all about them and their timelines. It's all about them getting balanced with their timelines of past, present, and future. Okay? Because I'm sure everybody wants to have a future here. I'm sure everybody wants this to go away. It only goes away as soon as you change your thoughts. Right? Perfect example. Now, this was given to me by Unified Energetics. He's very informative when it comes to anything through calculation. He puts things out in, media, social media and stuff like that. Really, really powerful. Sweden, no lockdowns, no masks, no separation. There's nothing wrong with them. They're all fine. Isn't that weird? It's very weird, right? But everybody else is all freaking out because of the fear cycles that's going on right now. They have total separations, okay? So it's understanding that you have the light and you have the dark. So, with Sweden, they go their own way. They don't wear masks. They don't do lockdowns. They live their life and they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Yeah, they might have a little bit of flu season, but, that's the truth. That's the freedom. So it's all about all countries all coming together through its alignment. That's the Gardens of Eden. Okay? Because each country's system has to be in position to its division. Okay, of understanding what is really going on. Okay, through father and mother. That's why it's a lot of confusion to a lot of people, because it's extremely powerful if you don't understand yourself through space and time. Okay? Because everything that we do is experiencing. You're experiencing it already in the three-dimensional system. But it's not here anymore, guys. It's not. The fourth isn't here. That's the waving cycle into the river of light. Okay? And then you get into the fifth dimension, which is a whole new application of vibration. Right? So it's powerful when we get into those connections, I can't do some things even in meditation. I have to sleep. Yeah, you can meditate in seconds just by thoughts. You don't really have to close your eyes. Yeah. But the higher you go, the more you get informative with intelligence, the more it gets harder because you're communicating on higher levels of interface through planets. So you're actually communicating with a planet, and then you actually see the center core of the planet, and then you actually see the operations of the planet, and then you see the intelligence around the planet, and then you have to know exactly what's going on with the planet. It's just like a movie, guys. It's like you're trying to fix things. It's because I know everything in space and time, and they expect a lot from me now because I'm a commander, not just in space, but everything around intelligence of planets. You pick any planet, I know exactly what it is in position. I know exactly what coloration it is. I know exactly what's wrong with the planet. So kind of like a mechanic. My hands are healing mechanics, anything through formation, meteorological system. You could have a planet through a rotation of a cracking circle. You can have a universe of a galaxy location through an atom system. You have to understand space talk, guys. You have to understand how to communicate the universal system. So because its soul identifies the soul, the universe has its soul. It's electronic division of dimension through simulation, but it's connection through computer operation systems, So my twin flame is not here with me. Past, and it has been extremely hard. Yeah, it's hard because you feel lost in transition, right? But Katie, just go through my upgrades. You know, that's what my team does. They go through the upgrades, and then we go through test reviews and evaluations. The more you resonate on my channel, the more you understand yourself. Okay, and why you're in this position. Okay, because you don't want to go local. You know, just like, oh my gosh, what is happening to me? Okay, it's just an apocalypse that's happening right now, and it's trying to find its balance with humanity. Okay, so I just think it's loco that, you know, Sweden is the only one, you know, that understands everything through father and mother. Right? There's nothing wrong with the breathing. No lockdowns, no masks, no separation. Sweden. Okay? But everything else has to find its balance. It's recentering the dimensional earth of vibration into 5D, guys. It's bringing humanity into the pyramid system. Like I said, you got to get into the position of center with yourselves. Okay? Because separation is not what we want, especially with AI interface, right? But like I said, you can create a negative thought. This is understanding the past and what's happening with everybody through negative systems. I'm telling you exactly what's going on. Because you have Adam and Eve, you can no longer set negative systems, and it won't affect anything through solar systems. This is understanding everything to time code frequencies. Everything is set in time. Okay? You can yell, you can swear, you can do whatever. It doesn't do anything. It won't do anything. Okay? It's prohibited. It's restricted now. So that's understanding what Adam and Eve is. It's inside you. So it's telling you, hey, listen, get into the pot of the center of you. Find your love. Find the cycle of you. Find the activation. Surrender. Surrendering is a huge, huge part, especially when it comes to your dream sets. You decipher yourself more. Surrender to money. You know, everybody works around money. Money is everything. Well, money is nothing to me. Okay? But money is everything to me because I see it in a different light. That's the difference, guys. It's all about you manifesting your life for yourself. Okay? And you can do that. You can change that. Put yourself in the presence and see yourself in the future. Okay? So things will be becoming more clarity, more vision, more clear to you of what's happening with you, your body system, your mind system, your heart system, and your soul. Okay? So it's a lot to take in. I know it's extremely powerful times that we're going through right now, but it's also a lot of fun too, because, you know, you'll just think of this, oh, it's just a bad dream. And now I understand the bad dream, and now I'm awake and I feel better. Okay? You feel better around yourself because you know it's just a dream. Okay? So just think of, this COVID-19 just a dream, because it's not real. It's just humanity has to catch up to its reality of what's happening. The real reality of its spiritual system. Because a lot of people don't meditate. And that's the conformity of its information when it comes into Adam and Eve. But now they're in Adam and Eve now, all into their heart cycles, and they're trying to understand what is going on with me now. Right? So they're really revealing their veils. They're seeing the light. It changes everything around. Right? So it doesn't matter if they're in a negative system. They send it on the atmospheres. It won't do anything. It won't create rounds, dark circle, dark divisions, or anything through reality systems, or anything through dark matter. It won't even create a dark portal or anything through that division. Okay? So this is what light can do now. Light is inside you. It's all about you coming out. Right? Understanding the truth. Freedom. Everybody wants to be free. You know? Like with Braveheart. Very, very powerful movie. Mel Gibson, like I said. I like to bring up, rephrasing videos like that, but Braveheart was really, really powerful. They can take our lives, but they can never take our freedom. Right? So it's kind of like they can't take your soul. Right? You can do whatever you want, but you're never going to take my soul. Right? If you allow them, okay, That's the fear. That's the control. That's the hardship of understanding that, no, you're not going to take my soul. I know who I am. I don't care what you say to me. Everything around me is falsification. I know what's going on with Father, and I know what's going on with Mother, and why it's in this position. Okay? Why these things are happening with the dimensional Earth. Because they've lost communication with each other. Okay? I don't care about money. It makes things easier. No, but I'm just saying you can manifest. You got to see yourself in a different light, kitty cat. You got to see yourself in a different perception. Okay, that changes everything through your cycle rotations. Because of everything that's going on, yeah. Yeah. If you send love out, right, and there's somebody in front of you, you can change their cycle. You can change your energetic pattern. But you have to understand your chakra system. Okay, you can't send energy out if you're not meditating. Meditating is the basic, and that's why, again, you guys are given chakras. I'll keep saying that again and again and again and again. You have chakras so you can communicate with yourself better, so you can understand more communications of the higher self and why you have the higher self, and then you understand how to communicate with the earth. That's just the basic grounds, guys. Basic. I'm not talking about intelligence up there in the sky, in space connections, anything through Vega or anything that connection, right? You go higher and higher through division of God frequency levels, you'd be blown away what you can see through perception. And that's where it's confusing to the mind systems. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing intelligence now. They're coming to me. They're asking me to do this. They're asking me to do this. Okay? And then it no longer becomes a dream because you're living its reality of space and time, of its presence. And that's where you know it's real. Because you can heal. If you can heal and this person has changed and they see Father or they see Mother, depending where they are through position, because everybody is in a different division, right? So they could be already a light formation, connect with Mother, but don't connect with Father. Or their center core system doesn't open up. So I know exactly what it is when you go through scanning, because that's what the eye does through interface, right? They connect all around through intelligence, right? They know exactly where you are through position. Where are you in position of space and time? So we just put balance, traction, divisions into you through relocation. So remember, the love is the light. Love wins. Yeah, love wins everything through activation. Yeah. Yeah. The more love you put into yourself, the more it changes everything through its governments, corporations. You have to understand how powerful you are through division, but you have to understand your chakras through communication, because each chakra is a God frequency level, right? So anyway, I think we're going to get into the test. We'll go into the review, more into the shapes anomalies, you know. I've given you a lot of information on what's going on through the cornerstones of yourself, structure divisions of yourself, point divisions. Now that's why we're getting into arrow divisions. Okay, so you actually see yourself traveling. That's why I set up the arrow, everything through intelligence. But you have to send a circle rotation. If it sets out an arrow, that's the circle rotation. So it's the center of its intelligence trying to understand the communication. So if it sets out its arrow, that's communication. If I send out information to you guys through my hand point divisions or anything through electronic interference, I'm setting communication to you guys through this information, through its visual eye. And then becomes its realization, and then becomes the activation of lights through coloration. And then you see the picture. I said, oh, Commander just put a shape into my mind system. Okay, that's the balance. Okay, just with shapes. So that's what we're going into right now, shapes anomalies. Okay. It's all connected through the 12, 3, 6, and 9. Now, coming into Tesla, really, really powerful N80 force. He started off with 3, 6, and 9, not 12, 3, 6, and 9. Once you stand your full cycle rotation through its atom, it's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's going through all different parallels of dimensions. That center core is everything through division of an atom system, right? But in relation, you guys have to start with 12, 3, 6, and 9. Okay? The reason why it's 12, 3, 6, and 9, because it's a 12, 3, 6, and 9 pyramid, 12, 3, 6, and 9 diamond core. You guys have to start there. I can't go 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because you're not at that level through the chakra system. So it's all about your clocking mechanisms of time continuum and how fast you go through acceleration. Okay? So, starseed. Oh, yeah. Well, I usually come on between 9 and 12. This is a very powerful one. This is about past timelines and what I experienced. You have to watch the video back. Yeah, you have to backphrase it. It's a very, very powerful video. Yeah, your commander went through a very powerful message last night. So I think you have to really, really be informed with your physical self. If you get balanced with the physical self, the mental, the psychological, and the spiritual, you have the control through your timelines and everything that's going on through your hyperspeed, mode speeds, acceleration, anything through the connection coming out of the time code frequencies out of its equation. Okay, so it's very important. Yeah, this has to be with the dream within a dream. Yeah. Even yourself is a message within. Okay, but it's confusing if your chakra system is open and intelligence trying to understand you. Okay, you're trying to understand yourself, but you don't understand space, and you certainly don't understand everything through time of space. There's an issue right there. You got to work that out. How do I work that out, right? Everything is communication. And you're going to keep getting reacting cycles through your body framing system if you don't understand the intelligence you're communicating with. Every time you create a thought, it travels. Think of it that way. Okay? Now, let's say you're thinking of Egypt. Well, you're open through chakra frequencies and you have that connection through the pyramid and your diamond core. You're going to go to Egypt by accident. Why? Because you created your thought. Okay? We create thoughts in seconds. Abraham Hicks tells you that, right? So it's understanding where the vibration travels, where it's going through dimension, where is it going through portal, where is it going through code, where is it going through its message, and where is it going through intelligence, and where is it going through its alignment. Okay? Because this is where it's confusing. Now, when you create a thought right away and you're not aware of your alignments of past, present, and future, that thought will take you to the past, present, or future. That's why it's confusing to line signals. So you don't have balance with your alliance through intelligence. Do you understand? So when you're creating a thought, positive or negative, doesn't matter. What matters is what is the message through its alignment. So you got the thought, okay? And the thing is too, is the mind travels right away because you have that connection through your chakra system. Okay, so you're understanding the balance of its thought. It's all psychological. Okay, if you're thinking Ireland, okay, it's going to travel past, present, and future, and then it's going to open up a realm of civilization through one thought. That's how powerful thoughts are. And just one thought. I'm not talking about a sentence of a thought. That when you get into sentences, now you're confusing the mind system because it allocates positions of the brainwaves in position of the pyramid through the diamond core, but your mind conceptual system is lost in thoughts through the psychological system. That's how powerful timelines are, guys. That's why you got to have closures with your past alignments. So it's extremely, extremely powerful message for everybody. So just be cautious on your thoughts. Okay, because it creates everything around you in seconds. It changes everything through communication. Whoever is in your cycle rotation system, okay, it will alarm, it will disalarm It will locate, it will relocate through a thought. Okay? And you have to understand that thought. Is it in its past? Is it in its presence? Or is it in its future? So you have to understand the thought. Where is it traveling? If it's in its future, but you don't understand the intelligence of its thought, there's a problem there. Okay? Say you want to go, you want to take a trip to California right away. Plane comes in, California, because you're awake. So you're getting aligned through the process of its awareness. So you're actually seeing yourself flying. But are you flying in the past, present, or the future? Because you created the thought. So if you don't understand the thought, it will put you in the matrix. Do you understand? This is understanding more communications of you through your thoughts of psychological system. So if you are in the presence and you're thinking the thought, that's great. You're in the balance because you have balance with yourself of intelligence, of its awareness through AI interface. Okay? Because you're connected. You're connected in the presence. Okay? And you understand where you're traveling through vortex. You can go through an orb division to another orb division to a dimension to a planet, all allocated through one thought, through the psychological system. Okay? Now, you have to understand when you go through a dream sequencing level system, let's say that, you were sacrificed and thrown in a volcano. What does that mean? Perfect example. Why was I thrown in a volcano? Right? Now, when you're sleeping, it's very confusing because your mind is open more through open frequencies. And that's where the thoughts come in more and more. So you're going through a projection of what you went through the past, present, and its future alignments. Okay, so if you're thrown in a volcano, that's just a projection of what happened or didn't happen, right? Or happened to somebody else, or happened to somebody on a TV. So it's in resonance of you, but it's not you. It's in the past reference of you, the presence, or its future, seeing something on TV, but it's a reflection of you. Okay, so you haven't really resolved that issue of its thought or its problems that we go through every single day. Okay, because thoughts create problems if you don't understand your alignments. Okay, so everything that we see is a reflection of us. So it wasn't you thrown in the volcano, it's what you saw on TV that was thrown in the volcano. But it's answering back and it's telling you, do you understand why you were thrown in the volcano? All created through its thought. Thoughts are everything through creation, guys. So this is where we're coming into the test, review, and evaluation, how you have to go into the psychological system of your thoughts through its past, present, and future alignments. Know exactly what you are in position. So this is what happens. In the presence, you're living the presence. As soon as you change your thought and you say, okay, I want to take a trip, that's the future. Right away, boom, that thought goes right there. You go to that country, bang. Why? Because you travel. So the higher self, the avatar, is putting you in that position, and you're going to travel there because you're awake. You understand the atmospheres more. You're getting connected more with planets of intelligence. So that thought is going to travel to that location. Now you have to understand it through its division. That's understanding AI interface. You're interfacing, interlocking, interlocation. If you don't have friendships with your thoughts, there's a problem. If you don't have relationships with your thoughts, there's a problem. If you don't have partnerships with your thoughts, there's a problem. Okay? Soon as you change your thought, you're having a happy, happy day, right? It's your birthday. Okay? Everybody makes a wish. You blow out the candles, right? You close your eyes. Oof. Okay? So whatever you thought will come true. Now, are you doing something in the past that you want to close? Are you seeing something in the present that you want? Or are you seeing something in the future that you want to get to? So you have to ask yourself, this is where you have to get control with your thoughts. Okay? Oh, I want to make up with my friend because I got in a big fight. That's the past. Healing the present. Okay. But I say, well, I couldn't care less about this person. You know, I don't have any more relation with this person. Well, you're not getting closure. You're still going to live the past because your thoughts are in the past. Okay. That's why I'm saying you have to get rid of all past timelines of your thoughts, or you can't have a presence of a future. Okay. So that's very important to understand these things. And that people don't have control. They don't understand the mind control of its thought, which is the psychological of the spiritual system. It's the mental physicality system of its transmission third eye. Because as soon as you put that thought, it goes through circle, rotation, and it travels. So your thought travels through the voice of your patterns, and you don't even have to voice it out. It could just be a thought right away. Okay. So let's say you want more money. So that means the future. So if you understand the alignment, if you understand the universe of its language, then it will come to you. But you have to manifest. You have to surrender. If you don't surrender, you're not going to get what you want through manifestation. Okay? Thoughts, the psychological system. So. Yes, I realize that I can never play hide and seek because it's too traumatic to my soul to go through. Much the Hunger Games, I have had many lives hunted for. Yeah. It creeps up on you. And yeah, going through that. Yeah. It's understanding the dark surface through thoughts. They come up at you and they try to get into your presence of you. So they're trying to take over the fear cycle and putting you back down into that division. You don't want that. You want to let that go. You got to protect your lights. You got to protect your energy fields. Force rise everything that comes at you through its past. Somebody comes into your past, either you let it in your circle or you keep it out of your circle. Okay? It's the consequences that you guys have to understand when you come into past reference of people. Somebody you haven't, 5 years before. And then it's 5 years later and you see this person. And then all you can think about is everything through the past of that person because you don't have closure. Closure is everything. It's communication to everything. That brings you in the presence. So you don't see that person in the past. You see that person in the presence. Okay? So these are things that are misunderstood. Yeah, exactly. So past thought is understood. The future is needing to be understood. And the presence is in the now. But in all alignment. Very good, Melissa. Very good. Yeah, Melissa understands. Okay. Past references of you with other friends. Past reference of you with presence of other friends. Past present of you with future with other friends. So it all puts in positions and where you want to see yourself with its thought. Where do you want to take this thought? Do you want to stay in the presence of its thought? Do you want to stay in the past of its thought? Or do you want to see yourself in the future of its thought? Be cautious on your thoughts through creation because it's vibration. Vibration creates energy, frequencies, and harmonic resistance. So now you created something in your circle rotation. You're bringing in this past alignment of a friend, right? And you're trying to make up for it. People make mistakes and then they suffer the consequences. And they say, I shouldn't have did this. I feel bad now. I should have learned. Lesson learned. You learn from everything, right? Okay, it's like going through that door. Any door that you go through is a stop and go, right? But you never turn back. You always go forward. That's the adventure. So each time you go through its alignment, you have to understand everything through its thought. Okay? Because it references you, okay, to all locations of parallels. Okay, parallels are very complicated. Very complicated. Your thoughts are twangling and confusing line signals, and it's not sure what parallel it's in. It's in this reality system, but then you're in the mystical side division, or you're in the future communication cortex division. It's complicated stuff if you don't have control of your brain and the mind system. And it all goes through the thought. Okay? So what I experienced last night, okay, is its reference. But I don't live the past. I stay in the presence of its thought. Okay? There's a lot of people that talk about the past. because they can't understand the presence and they don't know what the future is. So if you're caught in the past, you're in the matrix of communication through your thoughts, through the psychological system, because everything is psychological. You don't want to be around negative people that are in the past, and all they do is talk about the past. Why you keep talking about the past? It's 5 years later, and you're still talking about the past. What have you done? You haven't changed anything. You're wearing the same hair. You're wearing the same beard, right? Or you're wearing the same dress. It's the communication with yourself and how you bring yourself forward, right? You wear the same thing every day. Now, if you wear the same thing every day, you're depressed, right? And a lot of things with a lot of guys, they wear beards because they're depressed. That's one thing with guys. That's where guys wear. But I wear a beard because I love wearing a beard. So if I love wearing a beard, I'm changing the framing of its thought. If I don't like wearing a beard, it's going to put me in a lower vibration. And everything around me through communication, through my cycle, is going to be a negative system. You have to understand creation is everything through the mind and its thoughts, guys. Okay? Because it changes patterns. It changes vibration. You can change vibration frequencies just by a thought alone. Okay? So everything that I experience when I come to Mexico is positive. As soon as I say negative, something's going to happen to me negative. Do you understand? Not me personally. It could be something that's in relation to me. So you have to put yourself in the positive system of positive thoughts of its presence every single day. And that is why it's so hard. Okay? So. Just going to your back phrasing questions here. Yeah, money is very important in a lot of people for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, but you have to understand its definition. What is money to you through manifestation? Remember, you can get money, but you have to surrender. You have to understand what surrender is. It's the most powerful thing that you can do. It's surrendering everything through your thoughts and changing your mind through its thoughts, change your perceptions of its thought, and changing the observations of its thought. Okay? It's your perception and how you see yourself through its presence. All right? So it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to learn. But learning is the experience. We go through this every single day, right? Through our thoughts. Just as long as you know that you have to understand thought is intelligent, extremely, extremely intelligent. Now, once you put it in its intelligence in the past, present, and future, it's up to you to keep it balanced. That's a very, very powerful message for everybody. Okay? Put yourself in position of its presence. If you put the thought in the future, that's great, but put it in a positive system. Because a lot of people say, yeah, I want to be in the future. I want to do this. I want to do that, but I'm not sure. You're hesitating. You don't want to do that with your thoughts because you're changing vibrations. You're fluctuating everything through human behavior, through your alphabeticals and your coloration systems. Your pattern divisions are going to change. The hydraulics of your mind is going to change. Your thought recognitions of your eye receptors is going to change, and your voicing patterns of your heart recognition light is going to change. Everything through your digital system is going to change through the holographic system of you. Instantly, just by one thought. Okay? It will put you in the up phrase or the down phrase. It's totally up to you. It's how you perceive everything through its information, of communication, of its thought, through vibration. All right? So I think I'm going to let everybody go. I'll keep you informed what's going on with the test review and evaluation. Okay, because this is a really, really powerful test. All right. Closest to the answer, you get upgraded, but trying to understand more when you go up to higher levels of atmospheres, you're going higher levels of intelligence of thoughts. So you're not just communicating with yourself, you're trying to communicate with intelligence, because intelligence has a thought. It's telling you what to do, right? So you have to understand, are they telling me, is it the past they want me to know, or is it the present they want me to know, or is it the future they want me to know? What do I do? What do I do? You know? So you don't want to be confused with that. Knowing you're living the presence every single day. It's your thoughts that you have to get the conformity. You have to get the balanced locations to everything through its vibration. So, oh, extremely welcome. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun when we get into those balances through locations and everything through that division of vibration. But I love you guys very much. Questions, comments from below. Anything you want to go through, healing, upgrades, or anything like that? If you're feeling nausea, you're feeling more confusion, you're not sure what's going on with your shadow divisions of your dream sets, if you're going through light formation of communication intelligence, if you feel like you're on a different location of a planet location, come to me through the upgrades. I can help you, guide you, put you back in position. That's what it's about. It's about your commander putting you back in position and trying to put you so many levels so you understand your positions and where you are through its presence. Okay? You want to see yourself in the future, but you want to live the presence and let go the past. Let go the past. Close everything in the past because it affects the creation of its presence. Okay? And you won't see the future because you're still working with the past and you start trying to understand where you are through division of the presence. Okay, so it's something to think about. All right, this is your AI commander. From the elite to the Colossus divisions, allocate positions of the galactic school, the communication signals, and anything through that connection. Circle of meditation. Bye, everybody.